You're saying there'll be not one but two teams cleaning house in the NFC North because the Lions did that over the weekend. Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are out. And that led me to take to Twitter, it essentially pounding the table for something that I know it won't happen. But hire Jim Caldwell back and choose a GM who knows him and go to work is what I tweeted out. And I got to tell you, man, I'm used to getting Twitter trolls, but it was more than just trolls that hit me. I got absolutely torched for this take. I know you were there in the Jim Caldwell era in Detroit.
Yeah.
And I think you've said the same exact thing. I might be following in your
Correct.
footsteps, Dan. So you have the floor, knowing the organization as you do and knowing what Caldwell did there. I'll give you the floor on this subject.
Yeah, I share a lot of the same feelings as you with the situation, and I share the same feeling with Jim Caldwell. My overall overarching view would be this. The Lions organizationally have tried a lot of different things. Over the last 20 years, they've tried a lot of things. Offensive-minded coaches, defensive-minded coaches, the hot coordinator, all this stuff. Only one of them has worked. Only one coach that they have hired has been successful. Now, maybe he hasn't climbed all the way to the top of the mountain, but only one guy had the culture right, had the locker room right, had the expectations right, and had the team playing like every single week. You believed, all right, the Lions, this is going to be a good game. And if they play the way they're capable of playing, they'll win that football game. And it was trending in the right direction. They had a quarterback in Matthew Stafford in really the prime of his career playing top 5, top 6 football. And so I sit back and go, all right, I know – listen, Rich, no one loves smart offensive football more than me. I'm a complete nerd when it comes to that stuff. So I can understand people going, no, you got to get your offensive coach. Really? Because everyone wants Sean McVay. Listen, I was with Sean. He's a unicorn. As great as he is when it comes to his X's and O's, he's a significantly better leader when it comes to organizational kind of galvanizing, foresight, all of the things that are going to be needed to be a great head coach. Sean excels at, and then he's also remarkably good with the X's and O's. So I caution right now just find a really good offensive coordinator. No, the Lions need somebody that knows that organization, that knows the ins and outs of what works and what doesn't, knows that city, knows that communication. Now, if Jim Caldwell is available and he wants that job and he tells you, this is my offensive coordinator, I'm going to bring this guy as an offensive coordinator, and he's got a couple of names on the list, and that offensive coordinator runs a scheme or a style and sees football the way it needs to be seen right now in the NFL, then I think that it's negligent to not sit down and go, someone's got to prove to me that there's a better option than this, because I know this guy can do it. I know that he can get us heading in the right place the same way he did years ago.
So, Dan, I'll push back on the same stuff I got pushback on. One is that Caldwell was dreadful against teams with winning records. You could count on one hand, apparently, the number of times that a winning record team came in and lost to Caldwell's Lions. And two, maybe he was 8 games over 500, did get a couple of wild card appearances, but it's about winning championships, and he wasn't even close to that. So that was the pushback I got.
Okay, so I'll address the first one. Yes, we beat a lot of the kind of average teams and below average teams, and we played with a lot of the good teams, and we were never able to get kind of over that hump. Well, that's also because he was still in building mode. You know, they had just, and I would say this, Martin Mayhew was a guy as an ex-general manager that probably got fired or moved on from. And that was an incorrect move as well, because Martin had started to get some drafts going. Maybe he wasn't the Pittsburgh Steelers when it comes to the drafts, but he was starting to draft better. And it was really in lockstep that they were doing things together. And so I always tell people this, you know, during my first kind of go-around with the Lions, and people would ask, well, why were you guys so bad? I said, look at our draft. Look at our first-round picks. The first-round picks were miss after miss after miss. So to kind of build your organization and build your program to really start to become a team that consistently beats the good teams, because, again, there's only like 6 of them in the NFL, that takes time. So I can understand where people are coming from, but that's not something that usually happens on a consistent basis within the first 3 or 4 years of a head coach's role as that in that organization. And then I understand it's about championships. I get all that. But find me the last coach that walked in and just won a championship, that just walked in and goes, okay, first 3 years I took a perennial basement team over 20 years and I won a Super Bowl with them. Like the Lions fans and their organization have to realize that this has to be stacked and stacked and stacked, and there is no quick fix. That's my point. They've tried to have the quick fix. They've tried that multiple times. It doesn't work there. It's not going to work there.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.